listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Yeah, ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. You stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumpin' where the dame late, bunch of train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever.
I mean, what do you expect from a team, with Willie Green as your coach? They lost their confidence. After they lost their confidence, he should have lost his job. You know what I'm saying?
Why is Willie Green still a coach of this team?
Because we cool with them not doing shit, and this is an amazing draft. So what incentive do they really have to hurry up and fire him? I think they're going to get rid of him at some point. You give James Borrego a look. But really, to give James Borrego a look, all you need is maybe about 20 to 15 games. Like, really no rush to fire Willie Green. So he's doing what they would want him to do right now. Like, if you kept your job, right, and everybody was like, damn, well, Big Q looked like he doing this and doing that. He done told them people shit up and wrecked their truck and all this. You still there. I mean, we would have to assume that you're doing what they want you to do, right? Like, he must be doing something well for him to still be employed. And in this case, what he does well is lose. He's an excellent loser. And that's just what we need right now.
I don't think we need a loser right now. I think we need a winner. I think Willie Green.
The season, if you win too many games, you would actually be a loser at this point in the season because we can't contend to accomplish anything. So to actually win a lot of games would be to lose because it would mess up your draft positioning.
Yeah, but
I would imagine they at least want to ensure that they have a top 5 draft slot because I think as long as you get in the top 5, you're going to walk away with somebody that's, you'd be pretty happy with in this draft. They got a lot of guys all through this draft, that's good. But, that top 5 just kind of puts you in a premium position, man, to really get one of your guys that you got circled on your board. So I would imagine, it just makes the most sense, man. We know the Pelicans, they do a lot of dumb shit, but I think you would have to be really retarded to try to go hold on the season and we going to turn this around for real like that. You kind of have to have a mental illness to really be trying to do that.
And I think, and like I've been saying, I think you're giving them too much credit. I don't think that's what they're trying to do. I think this is incompetence. I don't think that they're thinking about.
I disagree. I disagree a little.
Man, you're giving them people.
I think it's incompetence for them to have gotten in the situation that they were in. But I think at a certain point, they're just cool with leaning into it. I don't think they're still full out trying to win right now, bro.
Let's keep it a buck. It ain't no they. It's not a they. It's him. And right. and the thing is, it's incompetence.
You can't convince me they really hard out for real trying to win all these games. Like they have nights like tonight. I think they wanted that one tonight. and incompetence, took it away. There's other games for whatever reason the players quit on the team or what they going through stuff. Whatever. We done seen them dudes come out there, man. You know they ain't trying to win that damn game.
I think they was trying to win this game tonight.
No. Tonight, I'm saying like I don't think incompetence that they lost 25. A lot of those games they just willingly laid down, like they wasn't trying to win for whatever reason. Maybe the front office wanted them to try to win at a certain point, but we seen too many games, man, where you just not really even trying.
Yeah, but that's due to that's poor coaching though, DC, to get these guys ready to play every night, man. That's what we seeing when you don't see them.
So you would think a front office that wants to win, they wouldn't fire the poorish coach. I mean, at a certain point, once it was at like 4-16, 4-18, 5-20, like come on, if you really trying to win, you gotta get rid of this dude.
Once again, you keep giving them more brains than they actually have. This is that they doesn't have. You talking about a competent, intelligent GM, VP guy that wants to help his team win. And every vice president, because he's actually running the team. That other guy ain't doing shit. That Bryson Graham dude has the power to fire Willie Green, and that's the correct course of action.
Well, your team he's following David Griffin's lead.
Okay,
he always got to remember that statement.
Once again, I said
that's an actual statement from Bryce.
He has the power to fire. He's a general manager. He has the power to fire Willie Green. I'm saying
what part of he's following David Griffin's lead don't you understand?
Listen what I'm saying, brother. Once again, you don't get what I'm saying. I said
he was a puppet.
Hold on, listen. I said he has the power. Okay, you heard that part, right? That he has the power to fire him.
Right. I got the power. It's getting kind of hectic.
Well, exactly. Now you're getting it. So this is the thing. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, a competent leadership would fire Willie Green. It will fire him because whatever he's doing, they're not receiving it. Because the last couple of games are like, we watched the Pelicans literally attempt to win the game, like especially tonight. They wanted this one bad, but when it got down to the get down, they started doing all of the self-sabotage stuff. They started doing all the self-sabotage and stuff. Then Willie Green leans into injuries. Well, we this, that, and we having issues, that, and the third. Man, listen, bro. This is a situation here.
Up there and look defeated every press. Look at it.
Yeah, I know.
His shoulders all hunched forward and.
Because, bro, this is
why are you talking, man?
This is what a dead man walking look like, DC. That's the whole point, bro. That's what a dead man walking look like. This guy's supposed to
die with honor, man.
If he had honor, he would leave. He's not gonna go nowhere. He's gonna sit on top of the team and collect a check. But this is the thing: is the leadership. This is not a competent leadership. That's the point. We giving them too much credit, talking about they trying to lean into some type of soft rebuild. And listen, this is the point. It's bad leadership, it's dumb leadership, it's failure going on. And the guy is trying to save the team in his own stupid ass way, which is not working. Ultimately, the thing that he could do to help the team win is fire this guy, because people are not going to start watching the Pelicans anymore. I mean, they're not going to be filling that stadium up. And you ain't going to be able to trick people by funneling them down from the higher parts of the stadium down to the lower bowl and tell the cameraman not to pan up there. A lot of this shit ain't going to be working anymore when the product just keeps losing. It's an embarrassment. So at some point, somebody gotta fall on the sword for this. You cannot go out and sell injuries or the reason why the team is continue to lose when you have enough players to win, like tonight and yesterday. It's the same story. It's not gonna work. And then on top of that, for the draft thing, yeah, it's a good draft, but do you really trust these people to draft the right players and then acclimate them into some type of offense when they don't even have an offense or a sense of identity at all? The Pelicans do not have an identity. So you can get all these players you want. That don't mean that these people are going to funnel them into anything. They don't have any philosophy. They don't do anything really well. Exactly. So all the stuff like, man, they're doing this. Man, these people ain't doing that. This failure and this one stupid, trifling, sneaky looking ass dude that's doing all of this. So at some point, we ain't counting on them. It's up to the support base to stop going to these games. That's what it is. Stop going to these flipping games, man. Stop going there. And that'll force these people to fix this shit just like we did on the Saints side. This is ridiculous.
I got you.
Willie Green, there's no reason why Willie Green should still have his job at this goddamn point. There's no reason for it, bro. None at all.
There is none, and that's my side of it. While I'm saying David Griffin is slimy, slippery. We call him clever. He has a mental illness. I heard that last show, even though I wasn't here. I agree, but he's a lot of things. Q. He's not stupid. He's arrogant. He thinks he's the smartest person ever.
Hell, make him stupid.
Yes. I ain't gonna fight.
Yes.
I don't like him anyway.
You got to be the smartest man in the room. What that make you, DC?
That does kind of make you an idiot if you think you're the smartest man in the room in every room. Like sometimes maybe you are the smartest man in the room, but every time, like, ain't nobody smarter than you. All right, whatever. But my whole point, we know, and you sat here and stated for multiple shows prior to this season that he was setting Willie Green up to take the fall. When the season was going left, and it was all I'm saying is they continue to lean into it instead of realistically trying to fix it. And you know how I can make that point, and what made it more obvious to me than anything, and I think was that when I started saying pre-tanking, when they cut Alfred Payton. Alfred Payton did nothing but help us be a winning team. He was low risk. He didn't take money. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have no ego. He have a leg to stand on. Dude trying to get in the league. He got 21 fucking assists. Man, was it 21? It might have been like 24. Was it? It was 21 or 24.
I know it was like 20 plus. Yeah.
Dude almost broke a record in assists. And we lost that damn game, not because of him, because of our coach. Right? Yes. And who do we, not the coach, we get rid of him. So we couldn't utilize Alfred Payton off the bench with the shit we dealing with.
I mean, I would have put Kane in the street.
It's shit like that constantly shows you. You get nothing from Daniel Tice, right? You have made no effort. Okay, you cut Alfred Payton. Daniel Tice ain't giving you nothing. Trey Jemison always in foul trouble. He ain't really doing nothing up panic. We ain't at least add a big man. Like, we don't even have a backup center. And they have no desire to try to get one. It's just too many things, man. As bad as Willie Green is and incompetent as he is, the Pelicans don't do anything to help. Nothing. Willie Green made this to his coaches. But at least from a roster standpoint, I think getting rid of Alfred Payton was stupid. He's not the defining factor in us, having a winning season or not. I ain't saying nothing crazy like that. But I'm just saying this is a player that obviously was a positive for you that can help. And you get rid of him. When one of the biggest problems we was having with this team is goddamn turnovers. You know who didn't turn the ball over? Alfred Payton. He got 21 assists, and I think he had 2 turnovers. So stuff like that, man, you can't tell me they aren't intentionally leaning in to losing. But I get your point, and I agree with the majority of it. It is definitely incompetence, but I think they're all due to the fact they can recognize that they're so incompetent. Instead of trying to fix it, they're just leaning into losing. Willie Green's still here. David Griffin begged James Borrego to come back. We got to remember that. We talked about that in the offseason. Because if there was a situation where Willie couldn't hold it together and things was going left in an attempt to salvage the season, he would fire Willie Green. We all knew Willie Green was skating on thin ice before the season even started. So now with this, it's it's unsavable. By the time we got to like 5-16, 5-18, you don't have no time when Zion coming back. Brandon Ingram probably was hurt. I don't remember if he was still healthy or hurt or not. Or if he was healthy, they decided they were going to trade him. You trade Brandon Ingram during the season. Right now, like, you ain't digging out of that hole. So they lean into tanking, bro. They're using their incompetence and these injuries as excuses, and they're gonna come back at it next year. Now, how they're gonna go about that, we gotta wait and see. Whether they're gonna try to lowball BI and get him back, we trade him for something like Michael Porter Jr. or somebody else, draft picks, whatever. We gotta wait and see all that, what direction they want to go in. But they definitely putting all their eggs in the basket of next year.
I don't know. I even though I think a lot of what's happening is incompetence, but once again, this is not a competent general manager VP guy. I mean, he's built a house of cards. You got a weak general manager that is totally inexperienced, despite the fact that he was an assistant general manager for years there with the Pelicans, worked his way up through the organization. He has, and I said this the last stream, he has one of 29 jobs in the entire world. 30 people in the entire world have the job as a general manager of an NBA franchise. He's one of them. I'm not giving him any pass on none of this, because when you losing, heads got to roll, people got to pay. David Griffin created these.
Giving them a pass?
I'm not giving I said I'm not giving anybody any passes, because this is the fourth year. This is supposed to be the crescendo year where they're building up to a point. 49 wins last year. This year it's supposed to be something else. And now you have, like I said, it is unconscionable that Willie Green is still the head coach of this team, and they are 5-25. You cannot hang all of this on injury. This team had enough people the last several games to win with who they had, and they could not win. They won 1 and then they lost 7. They win 1 and lose 6. It's just repugnant. Heads got to roll. You cannot disrespect the supporters of the team by coming at us with injuries, talking about it's an injury and the team is ravaged. I don't want to hear it. It's time for people to fall on their swords. It's time for somebody to get fired for this. And the moment they fire that guy, watch how fast the Pelicans start picking up wins. So once you fire him, it'll have the opposite effect, because I don't believe the leadership is competent enough to build through the draft, despite the moves that they made to get people to win right now. I don't believe in nothing they can do except for the Borrego effect. He's he's the easiest thing you can get to having a guy that can come in and establish some sort of identity for the team so they can start winning. This other guy is a dead man walking. His message is still, he don't know what he's doing. It's quite obviously he gets up on the press conference and he says the same things over and over again, and it's stupid. The bad shot by CJ McCollum, he co-signs it. He is, the guy is just a moron, man. I hate to say it, but it is. He's just a moron up there as a head coach. He's over his head, and it's time for him to go. 5-25, 4-11 at home. You keep losing games. This is the 7th game in a row you lost again. And like we said here before December even started, we said that the Pelicans will not win a game for the rest of the year, and the prediction is holding up true. So I'm not disparaging anything you're saying, DC, in terms of you going into the pre-tank philosophy, because ultimately at some point they'll roll into it and say, yeah, this is what we were doing. I would say the start of it is utter incompetence about what's going on with this team. And it's nothing new, because this franchise, the Saints and the Pelicans, are loaded with incompetent, late, non-progressive, idiot people. That's the reason why. And this team is just another image of that. So I mean, this is just sad. Lex, you won't say anything on this before we progress to the Rockets? preview if we're gonna do that, because this is the Rockets are after Christmas. They'll be in the Smoothie King Center. The Rockets beat the Pelicans 3 games ago, and they're coming back to finish the job. So, what are your thoughts?
On Denver game or this game?
Or the Denver game, or either one, however you want to approach it.
Definitely, we had a chance to win. I think turnovers, and I think that shot that CJ took really kind of just hurt the chances. The thing is when the game is tied, you got to attack the basket. Why are we settling for jump shots? You got to attack the basket.
Right.
I know. DeJounte said that there was a mix-up. And it's like, it seems like that always happens. Like, did everybody not understand what play was being ran? Like, or the spacing? Because he talked about the spacing. There was a spacing issue. And it's like, I'm kind of like fed up at this point, as far as like, at some point in time, you have to know how to do things when it's crunch time. You have to know how to operate. I think, really just the 2 shots that CJ took, the 3 that he missed, because I think it was like an air ball. And then he shot from like the elbow. It's like, guys, the game is close. Attack the basket. You didn't need a 3. You didn't need that. But it's just small things, the details that we're just missing on. And it looks like even with the point guard, we're the Pelicans still have the same problem as last season. Do you all know the record as far as in close games determined by 5 points or less for this season? Because last season it was something. It was
7-0 last year, or it might have been 30-0 if you add the playoffs.
Well, whatever it is, right now, I don't know how many close games the Pelicans have lost, but it's a lot compared to a little. I think the only one that the Pelicans won was against Portland at Portland. Because I think Herb and Zion had that game-ending block at the end of the game in game 1 against Portland, because it was a back-to-back. I think that's the only game that they've won as far as a game determined by 5 or less points. So that means all the other games, I think they've had one in Brooklyn, Houston, obviously this one, I know there's other ones. I don't have everything like all the teams that we played so far, but they lost those games. They lost those games, so it's still the same thing as last season. And really, you know what that tells me? It's not the point guard, Big Q. It's not about just having a solid point guard. Coaching matters. Coaching matters. Like that's a huge coaching problem. And it's like all this stuff is coming back to the same thing. Like, oh, we need a big man. Oh, you know what? All we need is a point guard. Guess what? We have those things, and still we're dealing with the same problems. So the thing is that when you're dealing with the same problem, and that problem keeps coming back to coaching, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's not about whoever we have on this team. If the coaching is not right, it hurts everything still. We could have Michael Jordan on this team, but if Willie Green is the coach, Michael Jordan ain't Michael Jordan. He's not. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad because coaching matters that much. It matters that much. Like, you can choose any Hall of Famer, and it won't matter because of the coaching problem. because we went out and we got those two things that we needed. Obviously, Eve's was a hidden gem that we didn't know. But the thing is that you got them, and it all comes down to coaching. The energy was cool. You know, this is probably like you said, DC. It was entertaining, but
very.
Obviously, I knew the whole time, just like you did. I was just sitting there like this, you know, just looking at the game, and I'm like, okay, third quarter is going to be the telltale. Third quarter, they were still up. They played very well. And I was like, okay, that's cool, but the third quarter, 3 quarters is not the whole game. It's still 48 minutes. It's still in the second half. Guess what? It just, instead of it rolling over into the third quarter, it just rolled over to the fourth. That's all that happened. And you know what's crazy? I think it was in the fourth quarter, they set Jokic down. They set him down, and the guys that they had out there, it actually changed the pace of the game. It changed the pace of the game, and it actually like matched up better with what the Pelicans were doing, because the Pelicans were playing fast. So when I saw that, I was like, wow. I was thinking like, man, this is actually a blessing in disguise to sit Jokic down, because now once I saw that, they were actually playing faster than the Pelicans. It changed the whole pace of the game. So now once you change the pace, they moved in that, you know, they shrinked the gap within the game. And then guess who's coming back in? Now you bring back in Jokic. You bring back in Jokic, and now you start going to him. You go into him more consecutively, because now the Nuggets are in a rhythm. They're in a rhythm, and it was like what, 5-6 minutes left to go in the game, and so now they're in the game. They're in the game. The game was up for anybody. It's up for anybody. So once that happened, I was like, man, that was the change in the pace was very key in Denver's victory. That change of pace, that small detail, was the difference maker, because the Nuggets actually exceeded in the pace. They exceeded the pace once Jokic sat down. They started playing faster than the Pels. Then you bring Jokic in. Now, guess what? You got champions. You got guys who can execute well. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They don't get rattled in crunch time. And the game is open, is in the air for everybody. Hey man, that's all they needed. That's all they needed. So I mean, you know, there was a lot of things that worked on their behalf. You know, and down the stretch, man, Pelicans had some unforced turnovers. They had some unforced turnovers. They really did. I know the Nuggets, they did as well, but I mean, I don't care about that. You know, I mean, the Pelicans did not need those turnovers.
Yeah,
Herb had a huge one.
Yeah, DeJounte had one too. And then the shot selection down the line.
Yeah, shot selection.
DeJounte didn't. I think DeJounte didn't have any turnovers, right? Yeah, turnover.
No, he had turnovers.
I didn't have none.
Yeah, they came. I think he had like 2. You know, like in the beginning,
the crucial one late.
When he stole the ball from Murray.
Yeah, he had
Jamal Murray, because he's a Murray too. Yeah, Jamal,
he
when he stole
right
the
back
ball
up
and went in for a layup.
Yeah, he had 2.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
It's just where it happened in the game. Mm-hmm. It's where it happened in the game. Knicks 100. They're not gonna move the team to Seattle, man. They got contracts tying the city to the state.
Why do people keep saying that though?
because people don't know what the fuck they talking
Yeah,
about.
2 new expansion teams. Like
they probably saying that
teams. You
because
don't need to move nobody there.
I mean, it's them people tied in down here, man. They don't want to move the team. They're trying to get a new arena and all that. But the thing is, you can't. You have to have a better product, and that's the thing.
Yeah,
you can't just take anything anybody give you. That'll make you a dumbass, bro.
Yeah,
so, I mean, it's the same thing when y'all put pressure on the Knicks all the years, and besides, the NBA wants a pro basketball team down here. That's already established in Seattle, and Las Vegas is going to be getting expansion teams.
Why do people do that to small market teams when you have teams like the Knicks? I remember the Knicks lost for a long time, man. They sucked for a long time. I've never heard nobody say y'all should move to New York Knicks. Like I don't get that, man. What does that prove? Because we got horrible ownership and a front office, that mean we don't deserve a team?
I don't know why they said what they said. DC, I don't know.
I think it really puts supporters in a tough situation, because obviously New Orleans supporters, they want a team, but it's like, look at the product. Look at the product. It's like, so it's almost like, hey, y'all don't need to complain too much. It's almost like being in between a rock and a hard place. So when you think about somebody, talking about selling the team, 9 times out of 10, if you're selling the team, because I honestly feel like Gail needs to sell the team. She knows absolutely nothing about basketball. She's not putting the people in place that want to win. Look, I want the team to stay in New Orleans, but it's like, why do you have to put up with a poor product? You want the team, but it's like, well, hey, you better not complain too much. You got a team, don't you? Like, no, you want a team that's winning. Nobody wants a team in their city and it's a poor product. Why am I being punished? Why are supporters being punished for wanting a team? But it's like, oh, well, you know what? Since you want a team so bad, so we trained you and conditioned you to, hey, you got your team, but you know what? We're going to do whatever the F we want to do. And you're going to put up with it, and you're going to take it because, the thing is, you said you wanted a team, but nobody said that they wanted a horrible product.
Man, that's how one of the devil deals.
Want to win.
Right. I mean,
and it's like, supporters should not feel that way. You shouldn't make supporters feel that way. Hey, the only way you can have a team is if, hey, you got a team, we do whatever we want. Because if you don't let us do whatever we want, then we're gonna sell the team and we're gonna take the team to another city. That's awful. That's white male at its finest.
I mean, we did that.
Remember the arena, the lights, the parking. We paying everything. But
see, it's levels to this. It's levels to how you approach. But it's going to be like that. Well, it's going to be.
Supporters feel like that.
Because the thing is, the team don't come to you in an intelligent way. They're not approaching you with any logic. They'll lose that conversation. They know that. These are not stupid people. They know exactly what they're doing. They're not approaching you with logic.
They treat the supporters like they idiots. They idiots.
Yeah.
No.
You're a fan, and as a fanatic and a zealot,
that's how they view.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's how I go. But when you start talking like
he don't listen to fans, huh?
You don't listen to fans. Who listens to a fan?
Well, I'm not a fan. I'm a supporter, dog. I'm an investor. I'm a stockholder.
There you go. But who listens? But who listens to fans? But that's the question I ask. Who listens? Who's gonna listen to some zealot?
I had to listen to a fan in the summer of 2007 when it had no AC. I had to listen to the fan.
That's pretty good, DC. I'm pretty sure that's why it's so hot on the island, brother. I mean, y'all have a few fans that roll and that sea breeze thing.
Is it hot down there in Jamaica?
It was actually after Hurricane. What hurricane was that?
DC, was that an attempt at a joke?
Nah, that was the truth. You said who listens to fans? I was just saying.
Say it again.
I had to listen to a fan in the hurricane season / summer of 2007. I had to listen to that fan.
What?
The AC was
All right.
out.
Okay, I
Had
got
to
you,
listen to the
DC.
fan all night.
All right, there you go, DC. I hear you. I hear you, brother. The AC was out. I got you,
You
brother.
asked the question, bro. Just,
You've kind of volunteered that, brother. We appreciate you kind
Well,
of
you asked the
dropping.
question, man. Did you know? I thought this was a safe place. I'm gonna stop volunteering information.
I wasn't talking about that type of fan, DC. I was talking about a fanatic, a zealot, not a fan
Damien
that
got a
coaches.
question he been wanting to ask. He made sure to reiterate that he put this up here a couple of weeks ago. So I think we should go ahead and answer Dame's question. Say, hey fellas, I asked you a couple of weeks ago. Is it showing now that since Gale took over these franchises, it seems like the teams have gone down the drain?
Mm-hmm.
Very dramatic, DC. Very dramatic.
It's very, very bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, he says, your
I
thoughts.
think so.
Marley said I just threw out a dad joke with the fan.
I think so. Everything that's going on with the Pelicans,
You're correct, Marley.
it's embedded in their system. It's embedded in the system. And so when you think about that, it just it's bad, man. It's bad. This has been because there hasn't been any growth. There hasn't been any change. Obviously with DeMarcus Cousins, I think that was kind of like the peak of everything. When he was with that team with Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday, Rajon Rondo. But since then, it hasn't been much ado about nothing. So yeah, I don't think there's been a lot of growth. They need to get people in there that know what they're doing and that know the actual sports. Let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, if you're the owner of the organization, you better make sure whoever you got, because I'm pretty sure they got people that own restaurants that can't cook to save their damn life, but they got cooks in there that can. Same thing. Not the people that make the cars know how to make the cars. They got the people that know, and the engineers that they need to create whatever they need to create them. All the people, all the machinery. So as long as you got if you don't know, as long as you know how to hire the people that do know, you'll be fine. The problem with her is she hadn't hired any of these people. She was given these teams by her husband, who kind of left these guys. But like I said in the previous stream, the Sports Coma, I said these guys wasn't behaving the way they were behaving when that man was alive. When he closed his eyes, these guys changed because they know she don't know and they taking advantage of her. They're not behaving the same way. Sean Payton didn't behave the same way when Tom Benson was alive. Mickey Loomis didn't behave that way. None of these guys behaved that way when that man was alive. None of them did. The moment he left, they all knew that she didn't know, and they can do all of this F stuff, sneaky contracts, and all this rhetoric and all this foolishness behind her. But ain't nobody. If there has to be somebody to check these people. If not the support base, then who? Because they're not doing it. And the only power you have in this dynamic is your ability to withdraw your support from the team, letting them know, hey, man, you fixed this. And that's enough. You don't have to go down there and tear their stuff up or go down there and threaten them or whatever. Just stop supporting them. They'll look at the books and they'll be like, oh, no, here we go. Because we just did it to the Saints. That's how we got Dennis Allen out of here. Willie Green, it's a lot easier because he free falling so fast right now. It's a starch case. It's only going to get worse as the season go on. You can't then flip the script and at the start of the season, because I didn't find all your interviews and play them and starting off the year, we got this going on. This is the year that we're not playing. We're going to make some moves in this year. We're going to be active. We're going to do all this type of stuff. And what part of the year did it get when it flipped to something else? That's how you got to stay on them, because he's going to try that. There's one dude that you need to pinpoint, and that's Griffin. Go ahead, DC.
Oh, no, I was just trying to give my answer, but I don't really think it's specifically tied to Gale. Like the Saints, I look at it as the ineptitude we experienced with them was set in place for a very long time before Gale got there. We knew Drew was at the end of his rope many years. 2017, you can see it.
Yeah.
And we did nothing to try to replace him. Even before Mr. Benson died, like it just was no backup plan ever being put into place for life after Drew. And watching that whole thing, I knew once Drew Brees left, we was gonna have a hard time. Now
They had a chance.
you
They had
want
a
to
chance
blame
at
her?
Tom Brady. They had a chance
Yeah,
at Tom
we
Brady
turned down Tom Brady to keep Drew.
and he got
And
hurt.
Tom Brady said, "You know what? I'm gonna come to the NFC South and win the damn championship in front of y'all." So the whole thing with that, I think that was already in place. And if we're looking at the Pelicans, I mean, if you want to be honest, because I get what you getting at, Damien. I'm not saying you totally wrong for looking at it like that, but just really being technical about it. When I look at Miss Benson coming into play, because Tom Benson brought the Pelicans. When he passed away, that's actually when the Pelicans got better. They were a lot worse when Mr. Benson was alive.
He first when he was still alive, DC. I mean, he had just purchased them.
He had that season with when AD, got put out with the Warriors. That was pretty much our claim to fame until 2018. 2019, 2020, 2021. All of those years were better years than what we experienced prior to when she had the team, to be for real. It was kind of bad, like when they first went through the run, bro. AD was an amazing player on garbage ass teams.
Yep. He was awesome, man.
They kept having a man play center, and he kept telling them he didn't want to play center. And that shit went on so long till he removed himself from our franchise. I've never seen him more upset than when they didn't sign DeMarcus Cousins. Then they went out, on top of not signing DeMarcus Cousins, they went out and signed Julius Randle. Power forward, after he kept telling him he didn't want to play center. And you know what he said in the press conference? That was the most disrespectful I seen. I guess I'm playing center. Before that dude was like a perfect citizen, very polite, just professional behind him. That was the first time I saw him start to unravel a little.
Because they signed Julius Randle without telling him. Yeah, they signed Julius and they didn't tell him that they wanted him to play 5. He just found out through the signing, I guess I'm playing center.
Right.
And they didn't talk to him. And that's Al Gentry. That was Al Gentry on the team. We knew Al Gentry was
I don't think Demps had it. I think Demps had his hand in that too. Because I mean,
well, yes.
It makes sense. But I mean, superstar. If he's saying he don't want to play center, we ain't got no superstar. Now you gotta at least try to appease him now.
I don't put nothing past an idiot who was tricked by got the job. Al Gentry got him to give him the job because he showed him some charts.
Right. So
he set up charts in his office.
Right. So I think Miss Benson is she's definitely not the person by herself to turn this around like other owners could, what else step in there and demand greatness. She's kind of like a rookie to this whole thing, and I kind of view her like a new owner.
Been a rookie a long time.
She's a brand ambassador, man. She a brand ambassador.
That too. Yeah, that's
she counting on people. Yeah. She counting too much on people that don't know.
But the people she got in place is taking advantage of her.
But that's what I'm saying, though, DC. If you don't know, and see, she believed them people. She's let's just say she's gullible, because when she had a relationship with, in terms of a business relationship with all these guys, she was being schooled by Tom Benson about all this. But if you take over something, you don't know about it, the person that's under you, which is Dennis Lauscher, who's the team president, he needs to know about it, a great deal about it. The problem is she don't know, and Lauscher doesn't know, and they hired David Griffin, who got a half-ass rep. And what I mean by that championship is LeBron's championship. He didn't do nothing but do whatever. He just was a Mickey Loomis, like Mickey Loomis was a gopher for Sean Payton. David Griffin was a gopher for LeBron James. He didn't do that on his own. Prior to LeBron even coming back to Cleveland, that guy was drafting Anthony Bennett. He drafted Kyrie, but then paired him with Deion Waiters, and them dudes wanted to hurt each other, man. He couldn't even get along. So he had foolishness going on there, and this is what he built. That's why they, ultimately they kind of got rid of him, because we know what Dennis Allen is. I mean, I call him Dennis Allen, but what's his name? What's the idiot name, Griffin.
David.
So I mean,
David.
yeah, Griffin. But this is the thing. Somebody got to know outside of Griffin so they can check Griffin. You cannot just say, okay, we trust you fully to run this team. And then the guy signs a contract. He got a sub 500 record. He signed Willie to an extension secretly. And then, extends him before the season was over with last year. And I'm like, wait till the season ends, see how he does. He signs him during the season. Next year, the guy collapses. That's the caveat right there. That's the caveat right there, is the fact that he signed him to that extension, and that ties him in multiple years. And guess what? He falls through the flow the following year. So some kind of way he doesn't want to break that agreement because he just signed him to an extension, which means he's on the hook for some kind of money. So at the end of the day, I care not about the money, but this is so bad that Willie Green, more than likely, he should be fired for this. You cannot hang this on the hook of injuries. You just can't do it.
Subscribe now and stay up to date for all things New Orleans.